My name is Juergen Guldner, and I'm speaking to you today from Munich, the BMW headquarters. I'm, of course, in home office as well as probably everybody else, and I really would like to say that I would rather be there and meet you all in person than doing this virtual. After more than 1 year, I think it's hopefully soon time to come back to more personal contact. Thank you very much for the introduction, Philippa, and thank you very much for having me today here. I'm very excited to give you a brief overview about our position on hydrogen and the current developments. Richard and Laura have already explained the UK perspective on hydrogen in a future energy system. And basically everything they have said, really we see also on a global level. As they mentioned, many countries have hydrogen strategies or plans. And the amount of hydrogen that is predicted in a future energy system goes up to about 1/4 of 24–25% in some countries, and averages about more than 10% on the global level. Now, hydrogen can play such an important role in the future energy system because of two factors here. One really is the transport factor, where energy, renewable energy in the future can be transported over longer distances, and on a global level, we really see a lot of need for importing energy or transporting renewable energy over longer distances. Also, as mentioned before, hydrogen can be used to store renewable energy. Kind of the symbol of this would be to take the sun from the summer into the winter, and that is very important in some countries where there's a strong difference in production of renewable energy over time or over the seasons. In this role, hydrogen can be used in all kinds of different applications, and today I'll go into more detail regarding the transport applications. Here, currently, the focus in Europe, at least, is on commercial vehicles like lorries, coaches, trains, even ships, or even airplanes, because their batteries, and that is the only other really zero-emission alternative, are too large or too heavy and are, in a lot of cases, not very practical. For passenger vehicles, both battery electric solutions and hydrogen vehicles are really viable options. And a lot of battery electric vehicles are coming out. As BMW, we have announced that we are launching about 25 electrified models, half of them plug-in hybrids and half of them battery electric vehicles until 2023. So there will be a lot of choice coming in. But we're also looking at the option of hydrogen vehicles in the future. The biggest advantage here over the battery electric vehicles is that refueling a hydrogen vehicle only takes 3 to 4 minutes. The range, the driving range, then is similar to a battery electric vehicle. And this fast refueling feature could be interesting for some of our customers, in particular those who require a lot of flexibility in their mobility needs, who frequently travel longer distances, or who simply don't have an easy access to electric charging, for example, in metropolitan areas. And here, of course, we have to think globally. However, there's also a few prerequisites for the success of, or the market penetration of fuel cell vehicles into the market. One is a significant cost reduction. And here, Laura already mentioned that a lot of research still is needed to bring down the cost of the components, to bring down the overall system configuration cost, and also to bring more robustness into the systems themselves. And this, believe it or not, cost is also very innovative to find solutions that are simple, that are easy to implement, and that are easy to manufacture. Also, of course, we need a hydrogen fueling station network where people can gas up their vehicles with green hydrogen, preferably at a reasonable price. And this could be really the start of the hydrogen in the transport market. We do see a lot of possibilities for synergies between commercial vehicles and passenger vehicles, both on the technical side, on the fuel cell technology, and also on the infrastructure side regarding the refueling network, because the hydrogen basically is the same that commercial vehicles and passenger cars use. So they could use the same gas station on one side of the gas station, having maybe the trucks for gassing up, and on the other side, having the passenger vehicles. At BMW, we have about 40 years of experience and competence in hydrogen. You might remember some of our previous projects. I would like to point out, for example, the hydrogen record car that we built, which broke 9 speed records for hydrogen vehicles at the time. Or some of you might also remember the Hydrogen 7, which back then had a hydrogen combustion engine and liquid hydrogen in the tank. This experience, and especially the experience with liquid hydrogen, enabled us to make the decision to go to gaseous hydrogen storage in combination with a fuel cell vehicle or fuel cell to power the car, because that is at the end the most feasible way forward for hydrogen mobility in passenger vehicles. The fuel cell is more efficient than the combustion engine, which simply at the end of the day gives more range, and liquid hydrogen obviously has to be kept very cool in the tank, which is not really feasible for everyday use in a passenger vehicle. I would like to point out that since 2013, we have been cooperating with our friends at Toyota in Japan and also in Brussels, working on the fuel cell system. This has been a very positive collaboration here. We are making a lot of progress together, and we're both benefiting from each other's technology and also from each other's experience and competences. So what's next? You've already seen this picture in my background. This is our vehicle we introduced at the last Frankfurt Auto Show in 2019. It's based on our very popular X5 model, and you'll be seeing more of this very soon. But today, let me share with you a little glimpse of what's inside this car. This is how it all works. A hydrogen vehicle is a purely electric vehicle. And in fact, we use the same electric motor that we use on the recently introduced iX battery electric vehicle. The only difference to a battery electric vehicle is that the energy is stored on board with hydrogen tanks. Here we have 2 700 bar tanks that contain about 6 kilograms of hydrogen in total. And as I mentioned, the refueling process only takes about 3 to 4 minutes. The fuel cell, which is kind of the heart, is fitted nicely into the engine compartment in the front of the vehicle. And here we convert the hydrogen and oxygen from the ambient air into electricity and water vapor, which is the only exhaust. We use a small high-power battery for extra dynamics and for energy regeneration while braking. And I'd like to mention and thank you very much, because this battery, in fact, was developed as part of the APC program. And the battery modules are actually delivered from the UK. That's all for now. Thank you very much for having me today, and I'm looking forward to the discussion.